pointed out, the Prime Minister has just addressed that joint session of the US Congress, from yoga to Syria to Pakistan, terrorism, constitution, India and the US partnership, and of course the road ahead, all of that being discussed by the Prime Minister. Let's go across now to our colleague Malvika Jain inside Capitol Hill, inside the US Congress. Malvika, so a standing ovation for the Prime Minister there.
The Prime Minister's speech today was great.
So in a sense, there is bipartisan support for a good relationship with India, despite whatever would be the election outcome.
Well, I think the Prime Minister made some light humor towards that. We all appreciated that. And we are in the middle of a political year. The Prime Minister is no stranger to that as well, and says that a similar situation exists back home for him. But I do think on the issue of India, there has been a strong bipartisan effort. We look at the relationship, not as a Democratic or Republican relationship, but as an American relationship. And I've always said, and I believe very strongly, that this relationship, the one between the United States and India, is the most important foreign relationship we have in this century.
Well, as far as the nuclear cooperation goes, there was a mention that the Prime Minister made with regards to that. He touched upon climate change. He also touched upon the IPR regime, though it was a light mention regarding yoga. But what are your key takeaways from this?
I think what we take from this is that a greater understanding of India itself, that India is a mature democracy, that it is dealing with many of the same issues that we're dealing with, maybe on a grander scale. In terms of the population, but in terms of the protection of rights, and whether it's human rights or civil rights or intellectual property rights, that India is squarely in that game, and the Prime Minister understands how important it is, the future of India, to protect those rights and to protect the rights of others as well. And when it comes to global climate change, the agreement that he has signaled to the United States, and he will agree with the Paris Accord. And that is huge for the world, not just for India, but for the world. And I think, again, it shows the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, not only as a leader of India, but really a world leader. And I was very pleased that he made mention in his speech of the civilian nuclear transfer deal. I think that really was the impetus, the spark that really ignited this incredible flame that exists between us, that we're both in, we're enjoying. It's a good flame of cooperation, mutual understanding, cooperation between the United States and India. I worked very hard on that during the Bush administration as a Democrat to see that through. One of the hallmarks of my time here in the House of Representatives, and I'm very, very pleased that he mentioned it, to see that's moved forward in a very positive way.
Well, there were 460 business leaders and congressmen in total that were addressed by Prime Minister Modi yesterday.
Yes.
And today it was a full house. There were congressmen, like you mentioned, Democrats as well as Republicans, garnering support towards whatever the Prime Minister had to say. You also saw presence of certain businessmen and other dignitaries in the audience. But overall, yesterday there was an economic roadmap that was charted by the Prime Minister, and today he did touch upon the partnership of innovation and enterprise in California between the two countries. Yep. Going forward, what are your expectations when it comes to an economic relationship?
Well, I see that cooperation extends beyond the business world. The cooperation between our two governments, and what that can mean. It really is. I think that it'll start in business, but I think it'll also help in terms of our intergovernment relationships when it comes to defense, when it comes to space exploration. And the ideas are hatched in India and in Silicon Valley in the United States. That entrepreneurial spirit is fostered in both countries and appreciated. And I think both our governments will benefit from that, and the world will benefit from the advancements that both India and the United States work together on.
Well, thank you, Congressman. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. We were in conversation with Congressman Crowley. Thank you for watching.